Okay. I moved to Boston from Detroit, Michigan back in 1988, and when I moved here, I was so excited about riding the train. I can't even tell you. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of moving to Melrose, which is a dry town, but I was still excited, and I got on that train thinking, where are we all going and what are we all doing? It must be exciting, and I started asking people, what stop are you getting off at? What are you going to do today? And it didn't go over that well. People started to move away from me, and I was like, what's wrong with these people? Aren't we all excited about going into the big city? Well, I quickly became as jaded as you all and learned not to speak to strangers and found myself on a crowded government center T platform in 1989, about to go meet my girlfriend at Zanzibar. Those of you who are a little older might remember that, Casablanca hotspot. I'm going in to meet my friend at Zanzibar. I'm standing on this crowded platform, waiting for the train, and all of a sudden, whoo, in front of my face, there's a muffin. Only the muffin has a bite out of it. And I hear a voice in my ear say, "Want a bite?" And I'm like, what the? I can't swear. I turned around and I was like, no. I got on the train, and lo and behold, the gentleman who offered me a bite of his half-eaten muffin got on the train with another guy, and they sat facing me. And I'm like, oh my God, they're so immature. I'm 23 years old. They're clearly older than me, and they start doing this rap and trying to get my attention, and I'm like, oh my God, when's my stop? Get off at Zanzibar, go dancing with my friend, woo, woo, having a good time. Oh my God, what time is it? What time is it? What time is it? Oh my God, last train, last train, last train. You know, the whole last train thing that's so messed up in Boston, it's not even funny. I'm like, I gotta go. No time to say goodbye. Running, running, running to the train. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Did I miss it? Did I miss it? Did I miss it? How am I gonna get back to Melrose? Go to Government Center, run on the platform, not a soul in sight except one security guard. Did I miss the train? Did I miss the train? No, you're fine. Okay, great. I can relax now. So, how are you? Then I hear these voices, and lo and behold, it's the two guys. The two guys I saw 4 hours earlier singing the same rap song, and I'm like, oh, good Lord, it's them again. And the security guard says, "Are they a problem, miss?" And I'm like, yeah, no, they're pretty harmless. They're just annoying. Well, they come over and start chatting me up. We wait 20 minutes for the last train, just the three of us, these two guys and me. One of them's older. His name's John. He says, he starts to be very charismatic and charming, and I start thinking, I kind of like this guy. And at the end, he's like, what's your phone number? Want to go dancing at Zanzibar next Wednesday? I'm like, I was just at Zanzibar. That's such a coincidence. He said, well, what's your number? And I'm like, well, funny you should ask me. We don't have a pen, but I have put my phone number into words, and my phone number is NoBoy11. I was really proud of that. He's like, I'm going to call you. We're going out next Wednesday night. I'm like, yes. Never given my phone number out before, but I'm like, yes. This is January. He calls me in April. Hello. I've already got another boyfriend. My boyfriend's in Manhattan, and he calls me up and says, I don't know if you remember me, but you met me on the T. If I had had his last name, I would have hunted him down like a dog for not calling me. But I said, yeah, I remember you. And he goes, well, I'm just wondering if you want to go out dancing tonight. Come to find out later, it was the only girl's phone number he could remember. All his written phone numbers were at home, and he wanted to go out dancing and have a dance partner. So I said, well, let me call my boyfriend and see if he's okay with that, and it'd have to be totally platonic. He's like, oh yeah, I'm totally down with that. I said, great, as long as you got it. Well, I go dancing with him, and I fall madly in love with him that night, but I don't want him to know that, and I can't stand it. I'm so frustrated because I'm like, why didn't you call me 4 months ago, you loser? So I'm about to take a trip with my boyfriend in 2 weeks from that night to Portugal. And he starts trying to talk me out of taking this trip. And I say, no, I'm taking the trip. And I'm like, I'll break up with him after the trip, but I'm down with the trip. I'm 23, I paid for the trip, I've taken the time. I'm not missing the trip. But I will so break up with him that as soon as we get back, he's like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to want to go out with you after that. I'm like, well, we'll see, whatever. Fate intervened, and my plane in Boston was fogged in, and I missed my flight to Portugal. My boyfriend left without me. So I'm at Kennedy Airport. He left without me. If you want me, then you better just buy a ticket to Portugal. And I couldn't take a flight for 24 hours later, and he's like, I can't do that. I'm like, well, you can or you can't. Either I'm going to meet him on the next flight, or you're going to go. 4 hours later, of course, in those days, I had to sit underneath the payphone and wait for it to ring. No, you can't use that phone. I'm waiting for a call in Kennedy Airport. Finally, the phone rings, and he goes, I got a ticket. I'm going to Portugal. And that was 22 years ago, and we collaborated on reproducing 2 other humans. Yes, a 17-year-old and an 11-year-old. It all turned out well. And so, thank you, MBTA.